Now, I'm delighted to say that joining me in the studio now is Patrick Poon. Good afternoon to you, Patrick.
Good afternoon.
Now, you've handed me something hot off the press.
That's
your
right.
brand new book.
That's right, and I'm excited about it.
I'm not surprised. I would be if I had a brand new book in my hand. It's just nice to sort of feel it as well. But Patrick, the book is entitled Tales from a Male Nurse.
That's right.
Which in itself, for a lot of people, we think about nurses, nursing in general, we tend to think of it as a very female-dominated career and a female-dominated industry, really.
That's right.
Have you spent 30 years in the industry. Is it still that way?
Yes, I think so. It hasn't increased that much, really, in terms of male nurses ratio to female nurses. And I think a few minutes ago you said it quite correctly that we are the rare breed. And
you like to think of yourself as a one amongst many.
Sorry, because when I Googled it, and I couldn't see that many male nurses around either.
No.
And not even a book written in general nursing by a male nurse in the UK.
And there's been quite a resurgence of interest in this. We've seen the popularity of programmes like Call the Midwife, and people like the sort of the historical element of it as well. And you look back at some of the nursing, I don't know, the equipment and the lifestyle and everything that was 30, 40, 50 years ago. Nowadays, we look at it and think, oh, heavens, it looks so primitive. And yet that in itself was so modern by comparison with 100 years, 150 years ago. Just within 30 years, have you seen a lot of changes within the nursing arena?
There are many changes indeed. You said, they called the midwife. In fact, that was part of the reason that inspired me to write this book. Because Jennifer Worth, the writer then, went to some Birmingham nursing conference many years ago, and she was told that no nurses had ever written a book on midwifery. And that inspired me to Google search if any male nurses ever written a book in the UK on general nursing.
Now, just give a little bit of the background, Patrick, to you coming into nursing in the first place, because you came over to the UK from Hong Kong.
That's right.
And you came over because you wanted to do nursing, or you started nursing in Hong Kong?
Yeah, I spent 9 months in Hong Kong psychiatric nursing, and gave me a good taste of it, and I enjoyed it. Especially in terms of medication, like giving out drugs and so on. And I'm not very good at the DIY job. No,
that's fair enough.
No good with a screwdriver. And I found that I quite feel at home with nursing. Hence, it made me apply to come to UK in general nursing.
So you came over here and you continued your nursing career. Did you stay in psychiatric nursing, or you moved into what I call general nursing?
No, I've been in general nursing all my life. Acute general nursing, and I was a male ward sister of a surgical ward and a medical ward in Warsaw. And there I learned all my profession, my skills and knowledge. It was hard work, but I enjoyed it.
I can imagine. Are you down in Cornwall? Are you now working down here, or have you retired? Am I able to ask a leading question here?
I'm semi-retired, actually, because I got 2 or 3 little part-time jobs, and I work for Acticel, the largest awarding body in the UK. And I work as a standard verifier, accreditation approval, and external moderator in education.
Ah, so quite a mixture then. Now, the book itself, you've written about, I'm going to look into it, and you've got lots of, sort of little snippets on the back. And I would imagine as a nurse, you must have hundreds of anecdotes of things that have happened, the sad, the serious, but also there must be a lot of humour in nursing.
That's correct. That may be right about it. I thought that in the foreword I did put down, every nurse has a different tale to tell, and I'm no exception.
No, I can quite imagine. I mean, I must admit, I'm really quite looking forward to this one. I have to laugh at this line here. He said, "A young man was not allowed to eat or drink for 4 months, and the first and only time you had to kick a patient."
That's right.
That is not good nursing care.
No, it wasn't. I was 18 years old, and the time and culture were different. That was in Hong Kong. But for this poor lad who was not allowed to drink for 4 months, it's called Anthony's recovery in the tale, and it's still very vivid on my mind. In fact, one of the medications that make him better, by coincidence, I couldn't remember the name, and couldn't think of it for 2 weeks, and suddenly in the middle of the night, at 5 o'clock in the morning, I thought of it. So I just woke up and wrote it down.
Wrote it down. That's lovely. Well, I'm really going to look forward to reading this one. But it's not, you're a first-time author,
Yes.
and you've published this as an ebook as well as a proper paperback, and they've both just come out.
Just come out, yeah. Through my website and 2 bookshops in Solash, they are selling it for me.
So if they've got access to the internet and they type in Tales of a Male Nurse, they can get to your website.
I think it's better perhaps to go www.pkspoon.
PKSpoon. Okay, that's POON.co.uk. And where is this one for sale if somebody is interested in having a look at it?
Yeah.
Is a couple of local bookshops you were saying?
Yes, that's right. There's one in Solash and also one at the post office in Dominic, where I live.
That's great. And also they can go, presumably, where you can go and find all good ebooks, and they'll be able to go on there and find it as well.
That's right. I'm in the process, actually, having it out in the Waterstone chain of the bookshops.
That must be great. It must have been so exciting to pick that book up and have it in your hand after, years of writing, well, however long it's taken you to write it.
Yeah. It took me only 5-6 months, but
that's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's great.
Not bad.
I shall really look forward to having a scan through that. Patrick, thank you so much for coming in and chatting about that. And if anybody's interested in having a look at Patrick's book, it's Patrick K.S. Poon, and it's entitled Tales from a Male Nurse. So you never know, you might get to hear behind the scenes a little.